There we go. Yeah, let's try that out.
I think I should add one more exercise to this.
So, Lucas, question for you.
Of course.
What got you into all of this in the first place? Why do you like suffering so much?
Oh, okay. So the suffering thing is somewhat recent.
Okay.
Probably like the last 3 or 4 years.
Gotcha.
Like I've always liked the CrossFit thing. Like I did the whole bodybuilding style training thing, and those were fun.
Yeah.
CrossFit kind of puts you into that suffering mode.
Yeah.
But then I had a client ask me if I could do their marathon program. They've never run a marathon before.
Right.
So I was like, sure. And then I figured I should run a little bit to see what it feels like.
Okay.
So I did a half marathon.
Yeah.
But my son was born at the time.
Okay.
So I had 4 training runs.
Okay.
I ran the half marathon. So
the half marathon
sucked,
after.
But then I was like, I'm a runner now. I have to do this running thing forever.
Gotcha.
So I've kind of just leaned into it, and now I really enjoy the distance running.
Okay.
More than I like the speeds.
The endurance stuff.
I like the way it feels more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
How do you like running so far?
Running's a challenge. Because of whatever science-based crap that I've been involved in the past. I always have the excuse of that's what my body's made for, more so than for weightlifting, just proportionally.
Yeah.
So I try and use that to make it a little bit easier on myself. Otherwise, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Dude, it hurts. It just hurts.
It does hurt.
And it doesn't stop. So it's really just more of a mental game than it is for anything else. Like we were talking about I think we were chatting about this the other day.
Yeah.
How a marathon is harder than an ultra, purely for the fact.
Ultras. Yeah, you're right.
Ultra's easier than a marathon. Just because there's a lot more walking involved and a little bit more variation and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's what you hear on social media all the time. Anyway, I've yet to do an ultra.
Okay,
but it's on the list.
Yeah, there you go. Sweet. Ooh, here, I have an idea. That way, people can kind of see you talk a wee bit. There you go.
Yes. Hi.
Hello. This is Lucas.
And then after this, we'll do an EMOM of some kind.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. We'll maybe do some rowing. Everything is 3 sets. So everything is 3 sets. Everything is 3 sets. So just remember that.
3 sets for everything. Okay.
3 sets.
So the Bulgarians, that's 3 sets of 5 reps, right?
8 to 12.
8. That's a lot of cardio.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Everything is kind of we'll do the RDL. We can do the RDLs a bit heavier if you want.
Yeah. Oh, dude, let's max them out sets of 8. But 6 to 8? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 to 8. I'm cool with that.
Nice.
These will be 10 to 15.
TRX hamstring curls? Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll like them.
I've tried them before. I'm a big fan.
But I don't know if I'll really love them right now.
Okay.
And then this will be 8 to 10 for toasted bar. Those are strict, by the way.
Nice.
And then
quick peek at the actual training for today.
So this is lower body day while I'm running.
Fantastic.
Essentially.
Okay.
So I'm not doing anything super heavy. I try to get a little bit more posterior chain.
Yep.
But then I keep the toasted bar in there to keep a string of CrossFit, and then the hip flexor stuff just to keep the hip flexors kind of feeling good.
Fantastic. I love it.
Then we'll do an EMOM after for some conditioning.
Alrighty then.
And some skills. It won't be too hard. It'll be fairly easy.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
As well, I know we chatted about it a little bit in the past.
Yep.
But how old were you when you first started, I guess, personal training, taking on your first client, all that kind of stuff?
It would have been 2017-ish.
Okay.
Maybe.
Gotcha.
What year is it? 2025?
Yeah, 2025 right now.
Yeah, just a little under 10 years, I think.
Okay.
I had done the whole policing and corrections thing. Realized I didn't like it while in school, so I didn't want to pursue it any further.
Gotcha.
Tried university for a little bit.
Okay.
Realized I didn't like that. So then I took a recreation course, and with that course came a personal training certification voucher.
Nice.
So I read the textbook and challenged the exam. I had to drive all the way to St. John for it, and it was like a one-time thing. So if you didn't pass, you were screwed. You had to pay it was like $500 or $600 to retake or something.
Dang.
Yeah. So I made sure I was ready to go.
Yep.
Passed that first try. Loved it.
Fantastic.
And I started taking on clients while doing various part-time jobs.
Okay.
And occasional full-time jobs.
Nice.
Yeah. So I made all the mistakes early on.
There you go.
Good. Still make some mistakes now, but not as many.
Yeah. Did you really have anybody to look up to as a mentor as you were kind of up and coming in it?
No, not at all.
Okay. So literally figuring everything else, or like everything out for yourself from scratch.
Like, there wasn't really anybody that I knew in the industry.
Right.
Like when I did my course, like some of them had personal training experience.
Right.
But we had like 2 or 3 different teachers like through the course of the year. Like they would quit and then come back.
Okay.
If you're local, Eastern College, and they have those issues.
Yep.
But otherwise, I had a fun time. I don't think they offer the course anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of like internet, YouTube kind of like learning, a lot of book reading.
Gotcha.
Especially like at the beginning, like I was certification hungry.
Right.
So
Right.
I just crushed certifications.
Okay.
Anytime I had extra money.
Right. What from the certifications and stuff that you've taken, is there anything that is so far above and beyond better than anything else that you've noticed?
Not really.
Okay.
Like a lot of them are really good. So I haven't done a lot of like in-person certifications just because there's not a lot offered locally.
True.
And I'm not really willing to travel to like Toronto or Halifax for like a whole day or 2.
Yep.
To do the same thing that I'm doing already.
Right.
But the CrossFit level 1 was fun. The instructors there were really great. I remember watching one of the instructors. He crushed one of the open workouts.
Yeah.
Really good time too.
Okay.
And then he literally finished and had to start teaching the class right away.
Nice.
So that was kind of cool. Cool. What do I want to do next?
How are we getting things set up?
We're gonna do Bulgarians. I just want to know if I'm just thinking.
We do bench, couple of plates.
Bench is leg day.
Well, yeah, no, like I'm saying, set the back foot on a bench or a couple of plates.
Oh, no, we'll put the back foot on the bench.
Okay.
Full Bulgarian split squat,
Yeah.
Love it. Full range of motion.
Okay.
We'll kind of do a couple build-up sets. And then in the heavy ones, I got straps, so.
Okay. All of this training is so you can still continue running?
Yeah, so a lot of the single leg stuff, because running is obviously single leg.
If you say so.
So it just keeps all the joints feeling good.
Okay.
I also don't want to be the smallest runner out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I worked this hard for this muscle, so
dude,
I want to keep what I can.
Very true. I got probably the biggest compliment of my life last night while I was out for the Lululemon run.
Yeah.
The event organizer Colin, he comes over and he's like, have you done a lot of running before? And it's like, not a ton. Like this may be like my 8th run of the season. And it's like, well, I need you to know you're a Clydesdale out here. Dude, I was so happy. It was great.
It's fun being somebody that lifts, working out with a bunch of runners.
Right.
I remember I did the Wentworth Trail Run. It's for the local search and rescue. Great event. Do it if you can.
Yep.
Afterward, I went with Emma.
Yep.
And one of the other participants had said, your friend, he's got really big legs. Like,
nice.
Yes.
There you go.
Validation.
Who are some of your favorite clients to work with and train? Is it like a mindset? Is it a goal thing?
My favorite clients to work out and train.
Yeah.
I love all of my clients, obviously.
Of course you do, Lucas.
I just like the ones that come in and have fun. They're easy to talk to. And they just keep showing up.
Yeah.
Even if they have a harder time doing like the outside of the gym stuff that they need to do.
Right.
As long as they keep showing up here and working hard, they're going to get some level of results at least.
Right.
So I do like working out with those types of people.
Okay. Sweet.
I'm going to do another one.
Next set. Dude, I haven't trained Bulgarians in so long. My goodness. This is going to be awful.
I don't do them a ton, but...
Yeah. Just when you want to hurt others, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was working out with you.
Yeah. I can withstand a little bit of abuse.
Yeah, you're young. You can take it. I feel like it's just going to be me breathing really heavy most of the time. Not too heavy.
There we
for
go.
you. Let me use straps. See how that feels.
So, what are your thoughts around the whole work-life balance in this type of industry?
It's possible, depending on what you think, depending on what your like earning goals are. Like I think I have an okay work-life balance.
Right.
I always make sure I take at least one day off.
Yeah.
And then Sundays I only work half a day.
Okay.
But yeah, you can't have evening plans.
Right. Gotcha.
But I don't like go out, so
yeah.
Like this is my hobby.
Okay.
And my job.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about too much evening stuff.
Gotcha.
Fridays I get to end a little bit early most times.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, too far.
Just try and get all thick and juicy.
That was harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. We'll do a top set at 55.
No, I'll do a 3 sets still.
Damn. Okay. I'm doing a top set at 55.
Take an extra 30 seconds. We can talk more.
Yeah. Oh, my glute. My left ass cheek.
Perfect.
I'm either taking a break in between sides or I'm dropping that weight down.
A break
My
in between sides.
golly.
I don't mind a break in between sides.
Pardon?
I don't mind a break in between sides.
Yeah.
You can try it out. I feel like you need it, Thomas.
Yeah. We all know who the hardest worker here is, Lucas.
I took like an hour nap today.
Nice. Good on you, man.
My sleep's been really weird.
Yeah, I was going to ask. How have things changed since having little Luke? Since having the youngin'?
Yeah, I don't sleep as well.
You do?
I don't. I
Okay.
don't sleep as well. Like I'm up more often.
Gotcha.
Thankfully, my wife is brave enough to take most of the damage. But
Dang.
yeah. Lately, he's wound up in our bed most nights.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
He'll like kick you in the face every once in a while. What's going on?
Yeah.
No, I track my sleep data with my watch.
Okay.
But I never take my watch off except for to like shower.
Right.
That way I can clean under it and stuff.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I don't know why I said that. Anyway. So
hygiene's important.
Hygiene's important. Don't be dirty, kids. But I haven't been getting a lot of deep sleep.
Okay.
A lot of light sleep and a little bit of REM.
Yeah.
Which isn't like terrible, but I could be a little bit more rested, I think.
Has that affected you much at all?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a little bit more discipline to do things that I don't want to do.
Yeah. There you go.
Wait.
Sure.
For you, Ronnie Coleman.
I'm dropping down a wee bit.
All right. I won't judge you in person.
Yeah. I can admit it to myself. I can still deadlift more. I'm happy with that.
Fair.
Yeah.
You're on the road to 600?
Yeah, I came in yesterday for a workout with it. And yeah, balancing it between running it's a little tricky. Because Well, the more beat up my body feels going into the workout, I'll essentially base it off of that as to what kind of work I'm getting done.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with this goal taking the next year and a half to get up to 600. Okay. So for a lot of it, it's really just a matter of at least touching on it once a week.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'm in 2, if I'm lucky, 3 times a week for deadlift training.
Yeah.
But I can imagine over the summer, it's going to be around 2. Okay. So even yesterday, body was feeling beat up. Trap bar work.
Yeah.
That's what we went with.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely important to try and keep the easy days easy. I like to pair my upper body days with my easier runs.
Right.
My legs aren't getting beat twice.
I'm going for 6 on each side. Fuck it. I'm going through the motions today, man.
All right. You say so.
Wait. There we go.
It's good. About 1 minute break. Should have wore a tank top.
Pardon?
So I should have wore a tank top.
Yeah, true. It's okay. I can look bigger today, but you'll do more work.
I sure hope so. This is my real training session.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just tagging along for the ride, man.
Yeah, you're just here to chit chat, keep me company.
Yeah, pretty much.
One more set.
Man,
this is the hardest part, though, I think.
Okay.
This is the hardest part of the workout, I'd say.
Yeah.
These suck.
True.
It's everybody's least favorite exercise, I think.
All right. What do you think some of the biggest misconceptions are around the benefits you can get around training?
The biggest misconception.
Like, we get a lot of people that come in saying, oh, I want to get rid of pain, build up muscle, lose weight, whatever else.
Yeah.
Is there anything that sticks out like a sore thumb? Like,
okay,
people come in all the time that it's like, yeah, we're not going to accomplish this. I need to help people change their mindsets around it.
Yeah, okay. I get you.
Yeah.
One that I get a lot is I don't want to be too big.
Right.
And that one, like everybody on the internet's talked about it.
Right.
Like you're not going to get too big. It's
right.
impossible.
Yeah. These exercises are going to make me bulky.
Yeah. Like I've been trying to get too big for my whole life. So
yeah,
it's not going to happen. Like you can get fairly big, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of focus, and a lot of consistency. And like, unless your goal is to be a natural bodybuilder, you're not getting too big. And even then, like
most natural bodybuilders struggle to get too big.
And they're like, if you look at them in person, you probably wouldn't think they're too big.
Right.
The other one, this one might be controversial.
Yeah.
On your social medias.
Okay.
I don't think it's possible to always be pain-free.
Correct. Yeah. I would 1,000% agree with it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you're doing anything worthwhile, especially if you're pushing your abilities or just living life,
right,
you're going to get pain.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it'll go away, but not always.
Right. Kind of becomes that whole mentality of embrace discomfort, right?
Yeah.
Good. Last one, just get it done. There we go. Sweet. We're doing dumbbell RDLs next.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when it comes to people being pushed outside of their comfort zones, do you think it's one of the easier things to train people into, or a little bit tougher?
It's tougher.
Okay.
Like it depends. Depends on like the individual always. Like everything. The caveat will always be it depends.
Right.
But I think the best way to get somebody to really go to their comfort zone is like incrementally push them.
Gotcha.
So like maybe if you're first time working out, like you'll stay within the comfort zone for a little bit.
Right.
Just to build self-efficacy.
Yep.
Like, hey, I can do this workout thing. It's not even that hard. Maybe you're just doing like walking, some wall push-ups.
Right.
And then like a light stretching or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just, cardio brain. I'm out of breath.
That's all good, man. That's all good. Take a second. You can keep on talking. I'm going to put these back.
The workout would be more than that.
Okay.
But that's an example. Talking to the camera. Talking to the people. But yeah, you get the gist.
Okay.
Like, you're like, oh yeah, this is easy, because in my opinion, it's always better, especially people that fitness isn't really their thing.
Yeah.
To have them tell you it's too easy than have them tell you it's too hard.
Right.
Like as trainers, you probably know, like we always push that line a little bit.
Right.
Sometimes we push people a little bit too much.
Stick with the 55s for it?
Yeah.
Or
70s?
like 80s? Yeah.
80s? Yeah, 80s is good.
Okay. So when it comes to the programming around building that self-efficacy,
yeah,
having self-efficacy, having someone's belief in themselves to accomplish the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you typically program for or keep in mind with that within like the first few months of starting a training program with someone that's brand new?
Something I always program?
Whether it's your program or something that you try and keep an eye on or have your focus on within the first few months to really build that self-efficacy and the belief that this is the right thing for that person.
I focus a lot on maybe not their attitude, but like kind of like their emotional state throughout the workout. Like if we're ending the workout with a little bit of fatigue, but happy and smiling, or like they're joking around with me at the end, then I know we are still within the realm of possibility where we can continue to move, continue to progress.
Right.
But if somebody is like dying on the floor, not chatting at the end, not being like, see you next time, man.
Right.
Then no, I know maybe I pushed them a bit too hard.
Gotcha.
So that's something I always try to keep in mind.
Okay. Using chalk, my goodness. That would be the mindset of like a 128 gripper though.
Yeah. Chalk gives me plus 10 strength.
Pardon?
Chalk gives me plus 10 strength.
Exactly.
My
just a little bit of extra horsepower, right?
Yeah. My butt cheeks are already tired. So
there you go. I actually went for a set of 10 with these. Yeah. With like a 1 second pause in the bottom. But, you know, that's just me.
Yeah, I'm not doing
that's
pause.
Ooh. From your experience, working out in the wild with clients, training, being chronically online, learning most of the information and stuff that way. Yeah. Do you believe there's any major issues currently with personal training or the way that people train or that you've seen or people that you've worked with that had prior experience that it's like, oh my goodness, we need to get away from this?
Making the workout up on the spot.
Okay.
My pet peeve.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like you make up your workout and like somebody's really sore or something, you got to change things. Like it happens. But at least you have like a plan.
Yep.
I've seen trainers just straight up come in, no phone, no tablet, no clipboard, and just make the workout up on the spot. That drives me crazy because I know that you're not, or it's not likely anyway, that you're thinking about the client's long-term progress.
Right.
Like I typically try to, for most clients anyway, program 12 weeks in advance.
Right.
Things may change as you go.
Yeah.
But at least you have a plan going forward.
True.
Like sometimes you'll program a little too little and you like the workout, like clients expect kind of to get their time's worth.
Right.
So you have to add a little bit in at the end and
you
don't have to ad-lib that, but at least you have that structure.
True.
So going through.
Okay.
And then there's just like, I'm making the cardinal sin of like facing that way a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just away from the camera, back always turned.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're up. Did you do your set already?
I thought I just did my set of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I went like right after you.
Yeah.
Didn't give you much rest time.
Taking a 2-minute rest. I don't care
Yeah.
how you go. You do your thing, man.
Yeah. What mentality do you think makes some of the best trainers? Well, what should people be on the look for when choosing a good trainer?
Maybe not compassion is the right word, but like you care about your clients.
Right.
Like you should be able to, like, I guess some people, you can kind of fake it a bit, I guess, but you should try to look for a trainer that is like kind of a little bit disappointed in themselves
Okay.
when you don't reach the goal that you want.
Right. If your trainer doesn't care whether you reach your goal or not, you're probably not with the right kind of person.
Right. I think that's a big thing.
Okay.
And like, I know we all have to make money.
Right.
That's how we pay the bills, but the client or the trainer shouldn't be like greedy, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be upping prices. Maybe
Like
because
every
you
6
realize,
months, whatever. And
or like you realize a client has like more money than others.
right.
So you like tell them a more inflated price or something.
Yeah.
Like I've heard about people doing that.
That's nuts,
It's
man.
insane, right?
Yeah.
Dang. Or like, again, just caring about your client, like not promising them you can get them somewhere
Right.
if you've never gotten someone else or you've never gotten yourself there.
Right.
Like
Kind of the saying about what where's the evidence to back it up? Like where's the street cred? Because if you haven't done it for yourself or you haven't done it for somebody else, then why are you promising this person that you're going to be able to get them there, right?
And it's not like, I'm not saying that somebody that's never, I don't know, said being a pro bodybuilder can't get somebody to being a pro bodybuilder.
Right.
But like they should upfront tell you, like, hey, I've never gotten somebody to this before, to this point before.
Yeah.
But if you want to take a chance on me, like I think I can get you there.
Right. Absolutely. And I think it's really important coming from all trainers that they're very direct and upfront with that from the very get-go.
Yeah.
That if they try and hold back information till a couple weeks into training or a couple months of, oh, well, I know that you're aimed on that goal, but let's actually try pushing you here.
Yeah.
And the trainer's trying to get you to change their goals. Mm-hmm. Challenge them on it. See if that actually comes from a place of the trainer with the lack of experience.
Yeah.
Because as clients, like we're here to be able to educate ourselves as well.
As trainers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, as trainers, and I mean, I've hired other trainers plenty of times in the past because I've wanted to learn from them.
Yep.
So yeah, from a client perspective, being able to challenge your trainer should almost always be welcomed, unless it's getting to the point where it's redundant, where you're actually wasting time in the session consistently because of it. Yeah. But I always push a lot of my clients, if you don't know something, or it seems weird that we're taking this approach to a movement or an exercise, or your training in general, ask me about it. Because if you don't ask, you're probably going to build up some level of resentment. Mm-hmm. And it could either just be a miscommunication, or, hey, maybe I'm completely off as your trainer and I wasn't truly listening to you at the beginning. And if that's the case, hey, I'm really, really sorry about that. But we should give people a chance to correct themselves to make everyone better.
I think it's important for the clients to communicate, ask questions. Trainers should typically have an answer as to why something is happening.
Right.
Even if that answer is like, hey, this is for fun. You know what
right.
I mean?
Or
I thought you would really enjoy this. We've done the work that we needed to do. This part is in here just because I think you'll like it.
Right.
I don't know. It won't detract or add to your goal, but it keeps you physically active and it's good for you.
Absolutely. And you know what? Sometimes if there's a weird movement that we throw into a program, it's yeah. I'll hop on that
weird stuff, man.
Yeah.
But yes, I get what you mean.
Even just for having the exercise challenge them in a way that they haven't been challenged before.
Yeah.
Just to see what their body does. Sometimes that's a good enough excuse.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fun to experiment. Client dependent, of course,
Yeah.
but yeah, there should always be like an explanation for each exercise, each rep range, each set number.
Right.
Like if you're throwing tempos in there, there should be a reason for the tempos or
Mm-hmm.
pauses, things like that. Um, and I think like it takes a bit of understanding from a coach's perspective
Yeah.
to answer those questions, and that's a good way to. It's a decent way to be able to differentiate a good trainer from a bad trainer.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily a bad trainer, but like a less experienced or less educated trainer,
Gotcha.
perhaps.
Is the reasons why that they give for certain exercises?
Or like they don't have a reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're like, it's like maybe the client wants bigger biceps,
Yeah.
so they throw in like hammer curls with a 3-second eccentric.
Yeah.
It's like, do we have to do the 3-second eccentric? Maybe the client doesn't like it.
Yeah.
It's like, do we have to do it? Why do we have to do it?
Yeah.
And like,
if a coach can't answer something like
Yeah.
that, then
and like if they say they don't like it, will the trainer be like, okay, that's fine, let's
Yeah.
change it, because maybe it's not necessary. They just
Right.
put it in because they want it to.
Yeah.
Or they're like, no, this is the reason why. Like, I think we should keep it in, and then the client can either be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's
Mhm.
cool, or they'll be like, no, I really don't like it, man.
yeah.
And then you can change it still.
Right. And even in situations like that, where the client says that they don't like something, some of the times I find that really, really good trainers will find a way to spin it.
Yeah.
To either have the client progress into that exercise more easily, or they'll simply just put their foot down. Because as trainers, we should know what is best for our clients for helping them get to their goals.
Yeah.
And things are difficult. You signed up for this knowing that it wasn't going to be an easy track and that there's going to be a lot of discomfort along the way.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have boundaries with clients and as a trainer for pushing your clients.
Yeah.
But to the same extent, if you never have a trainer that puts their foot down and says, no, we're doing this exercise, yeah, that can lead to a lack of confidence in the trainer.
Yeah.
Because if they're never pushing back against your opinion as a client and they're the professional,
Yeah.
then
I think it depends on the clients.
Yeah. Yep.
Like if you have, let's say like Stacy, she works
Mhm.
at an office. She hates her job, stressed out. Like her kids are just yelling all the time. She's at home, she's making peanut butter sandwiches.
Yep.
Forgetting the peanut butter on half of them. Fucking dog won't stop barking. He comes to the gym.
Yeah.
Like if she says she doesn't want to do something,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you know
We're going
what?
to find something else.
Like we're gonna do something different.
Yeah.
Because this is like your time.
Right.
And there is clients where you will put the foot down, especially like clients that have like a athletic goal,
Right.
where it's like, hey, I want to run a marathon, but I don't like running. Well, guess
Yeah.
what?
We're gonna have to start running.
You've got to run. Like,
Yeah.
you have no choice.
Exactly.
Like, you're not gonna run that marathon doing
Oh
a
yeah.
hike or something. No, let's not do these.
Can I hop in for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me
So
how you like
I
to
used
do
to do these back in the gym every so often.
Okay.
I think flat foot works out just as well as getting the heel locked in.
Okay.
But then you pull yourself further away from the rack. That way, as soon as you start hovering, it wants to pull your legs forward. From here,
Okay.
you could either do one leg at a time, but honestly, to bring the hips higher,
I know you want to do both. I kind of wanted a single leg variation.
right?
Let me try it.
Yeah,
Let me see how it feels.
because otherwise we could
We do a single leg
head over to the cables.
curl.
Yeah,
Well, let me try this. Let me try
I think if you get the heel hooked, yeah, you'll have less of an issue with the calf cramping.
I like the heel hook better. Yeah. So here.
Yeah, and you're gonna pick your butt up and then lift the hips up as you bring that heel towards you.
As high as I go. No.
No, not quite.
It feels more glutes than hams.
Okay, gotcha.
So let's do cables.
Okay.
I know I'll feel it on cables.
Yeah.
Sorry, camera.
I got like a polo with flamingos on it in my bag.
No, that's okay. I got an extra sugar. I'm good.
Oh yeah, because you got to teach classes and stuff later tonight, eh?
Yeah, I got 4 hours today.
Yeah.
Just 4 hours. It's not a big deal. But
Okay.
got the gym program done
Yes, sir.
today.
Yeah, what's it been like working at Raise the Bar compared to backyard coaching and other stuff like that back in the day?
Oh, it's so much better.
Okay.
Having like a facility to train in. I remember the first boot camp that I put on my own.
Yeah.
It was outside at Centennial Park.
Okay.
The mosquitoes were horrid. Like,
how many people did you have out there?
I think just 3.
Okay.
But like the mosquitoes just ruined the experience.
Yeah.
I made some like homemade sleds.
Yeah.
Out of tires and plywood.
Dude, that's amazing.
Oh, it was a good workout.
Yeah.
So I came back to the next one.
Yeah.
But man, it was rough.
The mosquitoes for it were bad. How do you want to do hammock curls here?
We'll just put
standing.
Yeah, let's do it standing. We'll clip
Okay.
in.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Won't be a full range of motion thing, but it'll be fine.
Or do you want to try something like really, really nasty?
What do you have in mind? Some sliders. Do those slide? Yeah, we can do that. I'm up for that. Does it work one at a time?
Yeah, you could. You just put a lot more pressure on that one leg.
Like we can do double if it feels better double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try them out for a second. See how they feel. You're gonna have to go like 15 reps around there.
It's supposed to be 15 anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I'll try it out. I didn't know if these would slide on this.
Try those out for a second.
I can't get my
And you just keep the hips hovered the entire time. Now, this may be more of a sensation than a tension thing, but I could always wrap a band around your heels to pull them the opposite way.
This is fine.
Okay. Only doing 8.
Yeah, 8 is good on those. My hamstrings suck.
Okay.
I don't like deadlifts, so I underutilize my hamstrings like crazy.
So that's why you like Bulgarians so much.
Yeah. Like I'm so squat down. Like my training is so squat dominant. It's like
I'll take this thing off then.
Like my heaviest deadlift is for the amount of time that I've been training is only 425.
Yeah.
Which really isn't very heavy.
425?
Yeah.
Dang. Yep.
Like for the amount of time that I've been training throughout my life.
Right.
I did like one program. Like my goal was to just deadlift over 405 because I never had done it before.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I'll follow like an actual deadlift program. And I eventually did it. And then I haven't really deadlifted again since. Not in a serious way, anyway.
We're getting 10 in.
10?
Yeah.
Very nice.
That, or we try and slide a larger plate. That'd be awful.
I'm good with this. This is good.
Yeah.
Those I felt those RDLs. And then this, I'm finding mucho challenging.
Mucho challenging.
I think that's a proper term, right? Mucho.
Yeah.
Trey challenging.
Ass looks great. You're great. You're good, Lucas.
We've been doing that pump. I'm feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Ass sweat's probably like thick right now.
Here you go. Love it. Listen, if the ass sweat isn't getting viscous, I don't think it's a good enough leg day.
The booty gravy, some might say.
That's awful. Never say that to me again.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can stop delaying it.
What's your favorite part of being a trainer?
My favorite part of being a trainer.
Thomas!
Dude.
What's your favorite part about being a personal trainer?
I think it comes down to a couple things. One of them is it's genuinely something that gets me out of the bed in the morning. There's factory jobs that I've worked in the past where I had to start at 6, and it was just a grind and dread getting out of bed in the mornings.
Yeah.
But for a year and a half that I had clients at 6 a.m., like I think the earliest I ever really had clients was like 5:30 in the morning, right? Yeah. But I lived like a half-hour drive from work, so I would wake up at 4:30, take my shower, grab some food, grab a coffee, whatever else, and head out the door. Yeah. Being there for 5:30, and like, dude, I was excited every single morning to wake up and go and do that. So it's a combination of there's a lot that it does for me personally,
Yeah.
really mentally in that regard. And then the second is constantly breaking people's beliefs.
Yeah.
Where someone comes to you and it's like, oh, I'll never be able to accomplish that. Or someone's within their first week of working out and you tell them, oh, in 6 months, we're going to be like hip thrusting 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And all they're thinking is, there's no way in the world that I'm ever doing something like that.
Yeah.
And then 6 months goes by, I lost a plate. 6 months goes by, 3 months goes by, and they're doing exactly that. And they're amazed, and they have this insane smile across their face. And they're just doing something that they never thought that they could accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
That's
nice. Really cool. Oh my goodness.
You had a rough time with that.
Yeah, just a wee bit. We'll call it there for that set.
Go there.
But
nice.
It's cool, man. Like, I know that we talk about me being a softie and all, but like, that's the kind of stuff that excites me, man.
Mm.
Like, just seeing people do something that they never thought possible.
Yeah,
I think that's neat.
Yeah, it is very nice. Like, it's one of the very big perks about being a trainer.
Right.
Is that it's genuinely and for the most part a very positive experience.
Right.
Like, I've worked a lot of jobs, pretty much anything under the sun.
Yep.
And there is a lot of jobs out there where you're just constantly being kind of berated with negativity all the time.
Yeah.
And training people is one of those ones, especially if you're doing it properly.
Yeah.
Where it's like that positivity feedback, like you're giving out positivity. Most of the time you're getting positivity back and it just kind of flows through.
It's a crazy feedback loop.
Yeah.
And it goes against everything that I was taught when I was younger, where, oh, you want to have a work-life balance. Your job should be your job and nothing more.
Yeah.
But then again, I was raised by parents who were in the trade, and it beat the ever-living crap out of their body.
Yep.
And they were exhausted coming home every single day.
Yep.
So it makes sense as to why that kind of story gets preached.
Yep.
When now you're talking about, oh, I want to go and do the exact same thing that you're doing with the physical exertion and exhausting my body every single day and making money off of it. But now I'm also going to take on the mental strain of helping out however many people for however many hours a day. And my work starts from 5 o'clock in the morning and sometimes may not even finish till 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah. Training, especially like you're kind of like starting out on your own again.
Yeah.
Like you have that grind right now. I'm at the point where I can kind of control my schedule more.
Yeah.
You have to just take what you can.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I started out, like I took my stepdad on as a client.
Right.
And he worked out at 4 a.m.
Okay.
So
dang.
Like he's like an old school bodybuilder, super strong, super tough.
Yep.
But he grinded like early before work. So he liked to work out, go home, have breakfast, do some stuff around the house, and then go to work for like 6 or 7 or whatever.
Yep.
So like I would take clients whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't matter what time it was. Didn't matter how like kind of really how far I had to go.
Right.
I guess. But now I'm at the point where like I train out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're not willing to come here, sorry, but probably not going to work together.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. Back corner?
We can do online coaching.
Very
do online coaching, guys.
Far over town.
And you need a trainer. Let me know.
There you go.
Like once you get established, or at least somewhat established anyway, you do get like a more work-life balance.
Right.
And I think as I continue to grow and build roster and kind of have as you get bigger, of course, you get more stability.
Right.
So then I'll be able to control my schedule even more.
Yeah. 5 to 10?
Let's do 6 to 10.
6 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Strict toes to bar. Try to keep the legs
strict toes to bar.
Yeah. Try and keep the legs as straight as you can. There you go. Scroll that weight down a tiny bit.
Swing or no swing?
Maybe a little swing. Not too much. Oh,
what am I doing?
Let's go leg raises. Go leg raises.
Leg raises?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the time I get on that bar, I might want leg raises too. So. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Them some abs.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
They're in there somewhere.
Somewhere behind the power keg. See, this guy just thinks he's better. But secretly, if we can lift more, then like that's really what matters. He's just making it look pretty. How's it going, buddy?
Saying good stuff, I hope. Those are hard. It felt okay today, though.
Yeah.
Take a little 2-minute break after that. We got lots of time. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I like training. I don't think I could do a different job at this point. You're going to take any break?
Your rep is my break.
Okay. Like if this was to all fall apart, like I think about it a lot.
Yep.
Like if the economy crashed or something and I wasn't able to do this anymore, what would I do? And I don't have like a solid answer.
Yep.
But I would try to like, I don't know, do something within the fitness realm.
Yeah. And like, I don't know if there's a more rewarding job, man. At the end of the day, like,
yeah,
I love what I do. Like, yeah. I obsess over it. It's the reason why I'm happy staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning, trying to figure out how in the hell to learn Excel so that way I can create cool charts and sheets and stuff for my clients. Like,
yeah.
If I didn't love what I did, I wouldn't be doing that, right?
Yeah.
And like, nobody's paying me to do the extra work and to go that extra mile.
Nobody's going to pay you to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. But I know in the long run, it's just going to create a better experience. And it's those small things that really, really add up as a trainer for what you do for your clients. Mm-hmm. Getting them birthday cards. Knowing the rest of their family and who they're seeing this weekend.
Yeah.
There's one thing that one of my best friends told me when I first started out as a trainer, and I got like 6 months into it. Mm-hmm. I was super tired after work, gave him a call, and we were just chatting for a little while. It's like, dude, you're saying that you love what you do, but you're exhausted all the time. It's like, well, yeah. It's like, good, you should be. Because at the same time, it goes to show the amount of effort that you're putting into everybody else's sessions. And you got to keep in mind, this is 1, 2, maybe 3 hours out of the week that these people come into the gym. And this is what they choose to do to get away from their everyday life. So going the extra mile, when this is somebody else's getaway, just means that much more. It's like having crappy waitstaff at a resort, or when you first check in and you're going on vacation that you've been planning for the past 5 years. That experience is only going to be made so much better by the Disney staff or whoever else at that resort. Yeah. When there's a smile on their face, they're excited to see you, they put that extra little bit of energy in. Yeah. Well, why isn't personal training looked at the same way? Like,
I think that's probably one of the hardest parts too. I tend to wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yep.
But when I'm tired, people can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just find that my voice starts getting really raspy.
Yeah. I get low energy. Like, I'm not a high energy guy as it is.
Right.
Look at those knee raises. A little bit of a kip to them. No big deal. Just have to do more reps then.
9.
12.
10,
go for 12.
11.
15. Go for 15. 14. 15. Yay. Easy peasy.
Sweet. Thanks, brother, man.
Easy peasy.
That hurts. I was just trying to control the eccentric, man.
Control the
That's
eccentric.
all it was.
10-second eccentric.
Seated hip flexor raise?
Yeah. Have you listened to
just like up against the wall, like 90, yeah. And then you just go, whoop.
Like sitting up against, like your back up against the wall?
Yeah, back up against the corner of the wall, like straight.
Sit in the middle of the floor, yeah. I don't see it.
Yeah, but that's lame because then, like, you can lean back in that.
What if I want to lean back?
I don't want to see no posterior pelvic tilt, son.
Okay. Have you listened to any good podcasts lately?
Any good podcasts?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't say so, but my top 3 are. Oh shit! What's the name? The Adventure Zone.
Okay.
It's a Dungeons and Dragons podcast that I listened to a little while back. Here, why don't we go up against the wall this way?
Hold on, I gotta do one more set.
You son of a gun.
I'll kip it to get it done.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. We're good.
Okay, good.
You don't gotta kip it.
Yeah, it's the Adventure podcast.
Yeah, the Adventure Zone. I listened to 400 hours of that while I was working in a factory sanding the corners of MDF doors, hunched over a 3-foot tall table. So that kept me busy. Everybody else thought that was insane there because I just break out in laughter and start crying in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
There we go. Now we can go wherever you want.
Yeah. Other than that, honestly, I haven't really been listening to a ton of podcasts lately.
Okay.
Used to listen to Huberman podcast.
Yeah.
Mindset Mentor.
Yeah.
I'm Joe Rogan. Sure.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Ugh. Oh my goodness, you could ever listen to him. Gross.
I think I'll listen to like maybe 2 episodes. Sorry.
Yeah. I listen to him when he has interesting guests.
Yeah. Where do you want to do this?
Screw it. Let's do it right under the windows. That's a cute little spot.
Okay. Yeah. What are we talking about? Podcasts.
Yeah. What do you listen to?
I listened to recently. I listened to the Nick Bear podcast.
Of course.
I think Nick Laverty.
Yeah.
It was a crazy podcast, a crazy story.
Okay.
So he's like a U.S. Marine, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a Navy SEAL or something. I can't remember.
Yep.
But he was the first guy that had an above-the-knee amputation and got back into active duty.
Really?
Yeah, and he told the story about how it happened. It was insane.
Okay.
So they were in their little base camp.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say little. They were in their base camp.
Yeah.
And one of somebody they thought that was on their side jumped into a truck with a
armored
gun on it. Yeah, something like that. And shot into his platoon or whatever.
Holy shit!
His unit. So like about 30 feet away, he said.
Right.
So it blew a hole through his leg.
Damn.
So from the back to the front.
Yeah.
And he's like, I knew I was gonna die.
Yeah.
So he tourniqueted himself.
Okay.
Like this guy's an absolute Chad.
Yeah.
Tourniqueted himself, and then he took gauze and balled it all up. I forget what it's called.
Right.
But then he shoved it up into his leg.
Yep.
He's like, I had my hand halfway in my leg.
Yeah.
And I like found the carotid artery.
Oh
when you cut the carotid artery,
it's like trying to close off his femoral artery that's just bleeding out all over the place.
Yeah, femoral. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Femoral artery, and he got it right on, the doctor said. So that kind of saved his life.
My goodness.
Then he crawled himself to where his medic was.
Yeah.
I think his medic was hit too. So he was just like talking to him.
Right.
How many reps of this are we supposed to do?
I have no idea.
10 to 15,
let's go for like 30.
30.
Yeah.
10 to 15, you say?
Sure. Yeah, I'm good with that.
What
do we got?
It's Ben.
Hi,
Ben.
What's going on, Ben?
And then he like got to the hospital, or he got like medevaced out.
Yeah.
After like hours, which is insane. And then he survived somehow.
Right.
And then they were like, we can cut the leg off at the hip.
Right.
And like you'll live no problem. Like you'll have less complications, no problem.
Yeah.
But you'll have like a lower capacity to do things.
Right. So that's when he said, like, nah, leave me with at least half my femur.
Yeah. So the doctor, I guess he was like one of the best doctors ever.
Yeah.
Like for this.
Right.
He's like, but I could try and like cut it here. You'll have maybe more complications. You might not make it. He was drugged out. He said, yeah, I want that.
Yeah, of course.
And then he talked to his parents. Like the doctor talked to his parents and was like, yeah, that's what he would want.
Dang.
So they went through that. Absolutely insane story.
Yeah.
And then
and then he went back into active duty.
He went back into active duty. So the story that he told was he was sitting in the hospital.
Yeah.
And the first lady, who was Michelle Obama at the time, came in. And he, like in his delirium, told her to tell her husband not to quit on him.
Damn.
Isn't that insane? Like
that's
in the hospital
crazy.
Still. He's like, I'll be back.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Terminator stuff.
Yeah. Like that is tough. So I do enjoy the Nick Bear podcast.
Yep.
I've been a fan of his for a long time. Like surprisingly, didn't super get into running from him,
Right.
Because he is like the hybrid athlete guy.
Yep.
But very good podcast. Sometimes he has guests on. He's like kind of religious, I think. So
Right.
sometimes you get some guests on that are a bit religious.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's a part of like the whole Cameron Haynes crew and
Yeah.
rest of them,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So sometimes they get a little preachy, but other than that, it's a really good podcast.
Nice.
I don't know how many I've done now. I'll do 2 more. The old trainer, 2 more.
Exactly. Just another 2.
And then I like Gone Medieval.
Gone Medieval.
Gone Medieval.
Dude, talk to me about that. Because like
medieval history podcast.
Right. You named your son Luke as a lineage.
So I named him Lucas. His
Okay.
name is Lucas.
Okay.
So like I don't know what my heritage is. My biological dad was adopted. I'll do a minute rest in between these ones.
Yeah.
So I can like imagine whatever I want.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I'm not gonna do a DNA test to find out because it might ruin my illusion.
Exactly. It's like, come to find out, you're from a wee Dutch family out in the potato farms.
Some boring.
Yeah.
But this way I can imagine whatever I want.
Yeah.
So it was like a custom for kings and stuff like that to name their firstborn son after themselves.
Right.
That's why you get like
King Charles.
King Charles, like Henry the First, Second, Third, Fourth, so on and so on. So I'm big medieval history.
Nice.
Like into the Roman time nerd.
Yeah.
Like anything older than that, I'm like, okay.
Whatever.
I guess
weapons weren't as cool.
Yeah. It's like it's not as dramatic. I guess.
Right.
It's not as dramatic, and the stories that are left aren't as dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
But like that Roman era through the medieval era, I enjoy listening to the history stuff.
Was there anything that got you into that medieval stuff to begin with?
Probably just like movies and books, like growing up, like I grew up kind of like Harry Potter was coming out.
Yeah.
So like big Lord of the Rings fan, love that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I dabbled in D&D.
Okay.
But I haven't played like a full game all the way through yet.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll make like a jacked D&D podcast at some point.
Perfect. Yeah. I like all that stuff, like the medieval, like kind of high fantasy DIOs. I enjoy that. So
cool.
Gone Medieval, good podcast. Check it out. What else? And then like on the fitness side, Stronger by Science always used to be really good, but they stopped making episodes, which is so sad.
Oh, okay. Because it kind of just like ran out of stuff to talk about.
I don't know. I think the hosts kind of wanted to do something different.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not completely sure.
That's fine.
What happened to them, but I really liked that podcast for fitness stuff.
Okay.
Jordan Syatt, if you don't know who that is.
Yeah, definitely heard of him a little bit before. He's
like a very down to earth. I think for the average person that wants to do fitness stuff, like he'd be a good person to listen to. Starting out.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Question for you.
Yeah.
Let's kind of break it into different categories because I don't know about you, but I follow a lot of people online in the fitness space.
Yes.
If you are to choose the best sports / kind of athletic coaching or influencer that way, who would you? Yeah. Are there any kind of names that really pop up for you for that? One for me is Austin Yoakum. Like, dude's incredible.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Basically teaches a lot about learning how to play to influence your training.
Yeah.
And keeping that mentality around it where you don't want to get too stuck in one type of movement or another. General strength training is important.
Yeah.
But then learning how to use your body in unpredictable ways. So he actually gets into a lot of, I guess you would call it more like gymnastics style stuff. Where they're doing even like vaulting exercises or playing tag, but just like super high intensity play work is really what it is.
I don't know any like sports, like people that actually do sports. I don't know if I actually follow anyone that actually does any sports besides like CrossFit or like running. like Garage Strength on YouTube, I think is okay. I think that's what their YouTube channel is called.
Right.
Strength Garage or Garage Strength or something
Yeah.
like that. They're usually pretty good.
Okay.
I can't remember the fellow's name. I just know like the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Sports specific. Like Mayhem Athlete.
Okay.
Like if you're into CrossFit, like
Yeah.
they're great.
Nice.
Like Rich Froning has built like a crazy facility and team there,
Yeah.
right? So like it's insane.
Okay.
Like, you know that you're gonna get good stuff out of them,
Right.
or at least decent stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there? I guess. Is that also who you would recommend for following more CrossFit style stuff?
Mayhem
And, like
Athlete?
getting advice from?
Yeah, Mayhem Athlete's good because they'll break
Okay.
down a lot of things. Like they'll break down a lot of stuff. Like I think they break down a lot of like their training cycles and things like that. So if you're kind of into the why of programming and stuff,
Yeah.
they'll break that down.
Okay.
And then
Sweet.
a lot of the times they'll record whole sessions where they'll have like a specialist come in. Like they'll do like ollie lifting and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. What
Wow.
about other facets? Whether it's strength, ollie work, anything else like that?
For like influencers that I like?
Yeah. Or just people that you follow online, people that others can learn from?
If there's like, if you kind of like a mixture of entertainment, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Mitchell Hopper, like World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Ritchie.
Yeah.
He used to be really into the CrossFit thing. Now he's doing more of the ollie lifting thing. But every once in a while, he'll put out like some informative content.
Okay.
A lot of his stuff is vlogs, but he'll like sprinkle in things.
Yeah.
He's fun.
Yeah.
Can't really think of anyone else. Like Renaissance Periodization always puts out good stuff.
Yeah. Dude.
Like they're kind of running out of things to talk about, I think.
Yeah.
So they're getting like into the weeds of like Ozempic and things like that. And
Yeah.
It's like maybe some people might find that really useful.
Yeah. And I
don't
love a
think
lot of the information that they put out, but I think because of the extreme specificity of a lot of it, it gets caught up in a lot of the jargon of what most people typically
really
put out there or talk about. And honestly, I want to get your opinion on this as well. But the generalized standard of training nowadays is so hyper fixated on hypertrophy training.
I think it always has been.
Right.
I think a lot of people, and you'll hear this from everyone, don't care what people think.
Right.
Everybody cares what people think.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't care who you are. You
Yeah.
have to care what people think because we're a social creature.
Yeah.
That's why hypertrophy training is so popular because the way that you look tends to represent, like, it doesn't necessarily represent who you are, but
no, but you'll definitely judge somebody who is, and again, take this with a grain of salt, but even from my own personal experience, when I dressed up like a slob and when I was younger and I was overweight, I always felt so much more self-conscious and less put together.
Yeah.
Where when I walk out of my apartment in the morning with a cup of coffee, I'm okay going out there in the biggest pair of sweatpants that I have and like a sweater with a ketchup stain on it. But I also know that, you know what, I'm in good shape. I don't look unfit, we'll say.
Yeah.
I look like I'm someone that takes care of myself. And because of that, I can walk with my chest a little bit higher.
And I think because of social media,
Mm-hmm.
people like imagine they have like this vision of what their body could look like, which
Right.
is typically unrealistic.
Yeah.
But just getting like in somewhat good shape,
Yeah.
like makes a huge difference to your confidence.
Dude.
1,000%.
1,000%.
Yeah. So bringing it back to like where we were, I think that's why hypertrophy training is just so popular, and it will always be popular until we're all like beige Wall-E people.
Exactly.
Couch,
Everyone's
right?
in a chair, whatever else.
So we're all the exact same.
Yeah.
And I think hypertrophy training will always dominate and always be more popular than every other style of training.
Right. Yeah.
Same thing.
And again, boiling it down purely because it's so much more visual than any other.
So much more visual, and like we want to be attractive to the people that we want to attract, right?
Yeah.
And I guess for the most part, I think a lot of people imagine that the person that they're attracted to would like them more if they emulated what they thought was attractive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if let's say like I think like I don't know who's somebody super jacked.
Tia Claire Toomey.
Yeah. So let's say I think. So no, this doesn't work. Let's take another guy. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Like
so let's say
Jared Feather.
Yeah.
IFBB Pro.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Jared Feather. Most people probably don't know who that is.
No, he's just super jacked, ripped dude. Yeah.
I guess
IFBB Pro. Yeah.
Let's say like I think he's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Right. And I think his body looks sick because he's super jacked.
Yeah.
Like I want to look like that because I think that somebody else will like that as well.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh, that big dude has a massive following. Maybe if I get jacked as well, at least a few more people will like me.
Yeah. It might not even be the following thing. Like you might see a guy at your gym. You're like, that's a handsome dude. Like if I look like that guy, then my gym crush will think that I'm hot.
Okay.
So I want to like get ripped. That's the whole reason I want to get ripped is maybe to attract somebody or maybe to like. I think usually that's the reason, is usually why.
The attraction side of things.
Side.
Health benefits, we talk about it, we preach about it. There's more than enough statistics about it. We know that it's a very difficult tool to still motivate people to go and work out. And like, so we know that not the majority of it is health related.
And like the majority of people that are in the gym are younger people, right? Like they don't care about their health that much. Like I remember when I was in my early 20s, late teens, like I didn't give a crap about my health. I wanted to lift weights and get huge and get jacked, and you know, and as I've gotten older, like I care less about how I look. I still care.
Yeah,
like, that's why I do bicep curls and stuff like that.
Of course.
I want to still be jacked.
Yeah,
but like I care less. So that's why I run and I do like toes to bar. Like I don't need to do toes to bar to work my abs. I could do something way easier.
Oh yeah,
and get just the same amount of benefits,
or something more optimal.
Something more optimal.
Optimal. I'll get your opinion on that.
I could do an RP 6.25.
Exactly.
Seated crunch or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think because of like the demographic that's typically at the gym is younger, like they're still trying to attract mates. Typically, they like hypertrophy will always dominate any other like form of fitness,
right?
Like even people that get into other forms of fitness most often are doing it for aesthetic reasons,
right?
Like most people will start running to lose weight or start doing CrossFit to tone and lose weight, right? It's just they don't like doing the boring bodybuilding thing.
Yeah,
some people just enjoy it, so that's what they'll do. And it's a little bit easy. I think the barrier to entry for that hypertrophy style training is lower.
Oh, absolutely. Because you're getting into a lot less balance-focused movements. Again, you see those physical changes. You go to a place where everybody else is doing the exact same thing. Risk of injury, honestly, with machines and other stuff like that, it's pretty darn low, especially for beginners.
I think the ability to use machines and cables, like
lowest barrier of entry.
It makes it so easy for people to jump into that style of training, and like the cost is lower.
Right.
So like if you want to do CrossFit, typically you have to go to a CrossFit gym or a CrossFit style gym.
Yeah.
And they tend to be more expensive.
Right.
I think the risk of injury is higher, and the insurance is probably higher or something. I don't know.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, I think that's why hypertrophy will always dominate. I think that's why jack dudes and ladies on Instagram will always have higher followings than actual athletes.
Yeah. Unless you're Ronaldo.
Unless you're Ronaldo.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's because he plays soccer. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world.
Exactly.
But yeah. I think that's why hypertrophy will always dominate until the end of time.
Okay.
Like aesthetics have been in the front of society's mind since like
beginning
times.
of time. Yeah.
Beginning of time.
I mean, like it's a primal thing, right?
Yeah. So want to be kind of like that.
The alpha.
Yeah.
If we call it as it is.
The alpha is not really the term I was thinking, but to be capable.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
You might not be the alpha, but you might
be a physically capable human being.
Be physically capable, look physically capable.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be something that's going to always be present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. Hell yeah. I'm gonna check that real quick.
Yep.
See how the
You wanna
sounds coming through.
Change angles somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We got to get into the EMOM,
We
right?
do our EMOM.
Yeah. EMOM consists of, son.
All right, so EMOM, a little bit of skill, cardio, a little bit of strength. We got our double unders for our skill. You can do singles, that's fine.
Okay. I'll do what I can.
We got our rowing, just 150 meters, so it's not going to take very long.
Right.
And then we have 4 sandbag over the shoulders.
Alrighty then. Sweet.
Cool. It'll be
Ooh, agua.
Agua. My bum cheeks are sore already. I'll go first.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, this is your podcast after all, Lucas.
This is my episode, and I'll do what I want. I'll face the other way. I'll walk in a frame every like 2 seconds. Are you ready?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can do these still.
All right. Bench is this just there for resting stuff, right?
Yep.
All right.
Dang it. Good start. Cut that.
Nice. Dude,
Cut it.
hey. I want to get that down so bad, man.
Huh?
I want to get that down so bad. It just looks sick.
There you go.
It's like double unders are the one thing in CrossFit that I want to learn how to do.
Oh, they're okay. It's not that hard. Once you can do
Yeah.
a couple, you just gotta practice. There you go. There you go. Look at you.
Ah,
Now you just
there
gotta
we
get
go.
the rhythm.
Yeah. My goodness. Oh, no. I saved it.
No.
Nice.
Quick, we gotta do our overrated, underrated.
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Forgot about
We're
it.
cutting this part out.
Okay. Let's cut it out. We'll do our overrated, underrated first one on this.
I think that's close enough to 25.
I think so.
Sure.
Just stay close by in case I need you to change this.
Pardon?
Just stay close by in case I need you to press the button.
Yeah.
We're good.
Sweet. 150 meters?
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
Easy work. So, Lucas, diving into it.
What?
Overrated.
Oh.
Underrated. Nutrition.
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 Underrated.
Just underrated overall?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nutrition is key. You should be really focusing on it, at least. Like, especially if you're trying to do something that's hard.
Yeah.
If you just have like a very general goal of like getting in shape, you gotta focus on it a bit, but not quite as much.
Okay.
But I
Gotcha.
feel like a lot of people kind of just let it go by the wayside. I think that working out is gonna make a big difference. Overrated, underrated, creatine.
Underrated.
Really?
Oh my goodness. So
I-
underrated.
I think it's overrated.
Okay. I'm
I
going to
think-
say,
I think
Purely-
it's so hyped up at this point that people think it's basically a steroid. Like they think that it's going to be like this gift from heaven and they're going to get so jacked doing creatine. When in
Right.
reality, like I don't take anything.
right.
And I'm not saying that I wouldn't get any benefit from it,
Yeah. I think
but like,
for the benefits compared to the downsides from it,
yeah,
so incredibly underrated. It is the one supplement that I would feel comfortable prescribing to anybody and everybody. 5? How many? 4? Okay.
one each side, or two each side. Where's that power? Come on.
Oh. Got my elbow a little funky.
Uh-oh. I think until you're doing most things somewhat right, save your $35, $40.
Yeah. No, like,
You know what I mean?
it's not going to change anything for you.
Yeah.
It's like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Once you have the rest of the ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
But otherwise.
But I think it's overrated because people think that it's
It
like
actually
this
does so
silver
much.
bullet.
No.
Yeah.
Overrated, underrated. Protein powder.
Underrated.
Underrated. Cool.
Underrated.
I think protein powder makes sense. Again, if anybody actually isn't hitting their targets. Otherwise, I think most of the nutritional food that we have access to today, you focus on fixing that for 90% of people.
You know what? Actually,
that train like twice a week.
You're right.
It almost falls into that same category as creatine.
Yeah,
it's useful.
I changed my answer. It's overrated.
Okay.
It's overrated.
Okay.
I think most people are probably eating more protein than they need to be.
Right.
Sorry. I think the general gym culture overprescribes the amount of protein.
Right.
And the average person that's just trying to be healthier and like put on a little muscle or look okay.
Right.
Doesn't need as much protein as they think they do.
Right.
So they probably don't need protein powder. But I think for people that have lofty goals,
yep.
Especially if you're not originally into the gym culture, they underutilize that convenient source of protein.
Yeah, I think so. Because realistically, the uptake that you get from a chicken breast compared to like weight isolate, there's been arguments made either way, but it's still so minuscule for the side effects.
Yeah.
That and like the comparison between the two.
Yeah.
That if you're wanting to go above average, sure, I think supplementation makes sense as long as you have the work to back it up.
Yeah. Overrated, underrated, motivation.
Overrated.
Really?
Just get the work done. Yeah, motivation is fine, but it's fleeting. Discipline is where the real work starts to come into play. Andrew, what's going on, brother man? We are in fact filming a quick little podcast.
We got a thing. Look at this.
We do.
I think motivation is underrated.
Okay.
Yes, discipline is important and habit building is important. But
do you think that you should always be looking for those small sources of motivation?
When possible.
Okay.
So motivation, the way that I understand it, is like a gas tank.
Right.
Like it'll empty.
Yep.
Like it'll fade away. But you can refill it with like quotes or movies or like books or podcasts.
Okay.
Or like friends and stuff like that, right?
How are things,
and it's
Andrew?
one of the first stages of behavioral change.
I gotcha. You want to say hi to the camera? No, dude, you're all good. You're all good. Huh? Oh, the hat? Yeah, it's a company hat. So, golf hat, magnetic ball marker, and a tee, always on hand. $90. Just for one. If I order them in larger batches, then I can get them for a better discount. But it was still cheaper than getting shirts embroidered. So this is my company, whatever, right? Yeah, it's schwanky. It does. I just wasn't getting the hips through. Yes, sir.
I guess it's a podcast. That's okay. We'll just cut this out. Not yet. I haven't checked either. Yeah, so this is my episode. Don't interrupt. I'm trying to get us on Joey Swole. It'll get us a ton of traction.
True.
Negative press is still press.
Exactly.
This is easy.
Yeah.
Good one heavier.
Not too bad.
I'm
okay with it though. I actually tweaked my elbow pretty bad on the last night.
You don't have to do it anymore if you want.
No. It's okay. It's just as it was coming over,
Yeah.
grab my arm,
Yeah.
like push it into a really hard external rotation.
Dang it.
Screw it. Since we're on the topic, discipline, overrated, underrated.
Underrated.
Gotcha. Why is that?
Because on those times when you can't get that motivation, like you're gonna have to employ it.
Right.
And especially, I don't know how many I've done. Like on the way to building the habits,
Yeah.
there's gonna be times where you just have to grit your teeth and kind of do what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
That being said, discipline and willpower, I think, are kind of like interchangeable.
Yeah.
And there is some belief that willpower also isn't finite or infinite.
Right.
It's a finite resource as well. Like if you're constantly forcing yourself to go to work, forcing yourself to work out,
Yeah.
forcing yourself to do lawn work, forcing yourself to do all the stuff you don't want to do, eventually that's going to take its toll as well.
Right.
And you'll just like burn out.
If everything is a constant grind and you have to fight yourself mentally to get into it all the time,
Yeah.
that's when I think things start to get really tricky.
Yeah.
And where burnout can happen. But just like we were talking about with personal training, if it's something that's constantly filling your well,
Yeah.
even if you're working 12, 13 hours a day,
Yeah.
and you find that fire
But I think
that gets lit under your ass,
I think it is underrated because I think not enough people are willing to employ it.
Right.
They're willing to dig deep into that well of discipline.
Yeah.
Especially when like everything is easy right now.
Right.
Like there's nothing in my life where I'm like, oh God, this is so hard. It's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of easy stuff.
Do you think that people will always be able to make the time, or like 99% of the time, be able to make the time for themselves if it's something that they truly want? Whether it's being able to get that 30 minutes of exercise in a day.
I think there's always going to be time, but there's sorry. How do I want to phrase this? I think you can always make the time, but there's not always going to be the time.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like every day you might not have the time,
Right.
but some days you'll be able to make the time.
Right.
And we know fitness isn't a thing that you have to do every single day.
Right.
You get the benefits from a couple of times a week, maybe.
There we go. I think as long as people have the right tools, resources, and motivation,
I think social circle
then
plays a big role.
yeah,
The people and the media that you associate yourself with
yeah,
makes a huge difference
right,
in your willingness to sacrifice in order to do the things that typically wouldn't be done otherwise.
right.
There you go. That's good
Gotta
stuff.
just get the hips through.
Yeah. I was like, he's stronger than me.
Pardon?
I was like, he's stronger than me. He should be able to throw this harder than I can.
Yeah, just a technique thing.
There you go. Nice. One more time through.
There we go. Cool. Colin's there?
No, we got one more.
Oh my God.
Overrated, underrated. Meal timing.
Meal timing.
Meal timing.
Honestly, underrated.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people teach and coach about it being one of the last things that you kind of work on nutritionally. I don't see why it can't be one of the first. If you're fueling yourself properly for the workouts,
Yeah.
and you screw up your nutrition the rest of the day, Well, hey, guess what? Now you had a better workout. Because you had a better workout, you want to come back to the workout. You're able to track progress there, everything else. And you know what? If you can start off with getting one good meal in throughout the day and connect that to your performance,
Yeah.
dude, it makes a world of a difference.
I think overrated for the average person.
Yeah.
Underrated
for athletes. Yeah.
Like the average person, if you do your 3 meals a day and maybe a snack in there, doesn't matter when you do it. But for athletes, having that meal timing somewhat locked in, it probably doesn't have to be your first thought, but trying to get the nutrition around like the core times when you're training and like pre and post training, things like that.
Right. My nip. We had a slip. Cut it.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Cut it.
We're putting that on Reddit.
Shit. Not again.
Your turn.
Overrated, underrated, stretching.
Oh. Ooh. I just want to say depends to everything.
I would kind of agree with you there.
Yeah. I'm going to say overrated. Like if I have to pick.
Okay.
I think if you have mobility enough to do the tasks that you want to do,
yeah,
training through a full range of motion will typically be enough.
Yep.
However, it does depend. If you have range of motion deficiencies,
yeah,
then yeah, you do have to train that mobility a bit. And I mean train mobility, not just
stretch, not just
holding.
Yeah, stretches and stuff that way. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree for the most part.
Yeah.
If you don't need more of it for your daily life and what you require of your body, if you're hitting like maintenance levels, let's say, so that way you can continue doing what you love later on in life, then so be it. Screw it.
And like,
but I think it's good for people to experiment with exercises and ranges of motion.
Yeah.
Because then you can find your weak areas, and you can know what you're strong in, which just leads to more confidence in your training. But
I think that's very time dependent, though. Like having like the time to kind of play in your training.
Yeah. Not a lot of people have. It's a luxury.
Especially if you have like a specific goal. Like if you're just like, I just want to get generally fitter. Then like, yeah, sure. Like you're good to go. Do whatever.
Yeah. That's a good kind of Michael Bay sandbag.
Do we look cool?
Just explosions, man.
Just explosions.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Bang, bang.
They turn around and walk away.
Oh, I'll stay to your shots so you can look cool too. Overrated, underrated. What's something silly? Barefoot training. Barefoot anything.
Overrated.
Thank you. Overrated.
Even though I'm that guy in zeros and loves it, I do it because I have the time for it.
Yeah.
And the interest in it.
I remember my first time, like when I started training seriously.
Yeah.
I only wore basketball shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, like I've owned like 11 different pairs at this point over the past 4 years. Find a pair that you like and stick with it.
Yeah.
I think it's beneficial for people to have it as their everyday shoe.
Yep.
But for training and stuff, whatever works best. But at the end of the day, if you are going like 20, 30% of your squat max,
Yeah.
and you're still experiencing egregious amounts of knee valgus, or you still feel really unstable, then yeah, you know what? You probably should try working on some Poliquin step downs and work on strengthening your feet.
Maybe.
But if it's just for building a more stable structure in extreme sports, go for it. Everyday person does not need to work on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Again, it's kind of like that cherry on top of the sundae.
Yeah, it's like I find a lot of people, especially when it comes to fitness, are picking up pebbles and just leaving the boulders.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's a huge air ball for a lot of people.
Right. Where do they find you? Where can they go?
I love that. You can find me on Instagram, Luke Edwards Fitness, Facebook, Luke Edwards Fitness. I might have a YouTube channel still, and like a TikTok maybe. I don't really use TikTok, but I have a website, Luke Edwards Fitness, and I do in-person, online, running, lifting, all of the fun stuff.
Heck yeah. Sweet.
Thank you for having me on your podcast?
Podcast? I don't know.
Your
podcast?
podcast?